Hey, it's me again, Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. That is very good, sound advice. Not financial advice. It's sound advice. And here's some more sound advice. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Because it's better than being a jerk. You can go out there and be a jerk. You're not going to get much. You might feel a little bit better short term, but your long term opportunities are dropping like a rock. Anyhow, that's not what this is about. This I found 3 weeks ago. Nanonuclear energy. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks it's been out. It's only got 471 views. So I figured these guys, Nanonuclear, wouldn't mind me. Nanonuclear. I don't want to steal anything. I'm not plagiarizing. Here we go. Let's see what they got to say. It's very interesting.
New York-based Nanonuclear Energy is one of just a few ventures aiming to make small modular nuclear reactors a reality as the shift towards alternative energy sources continues. In the case of Nano, they're developing reactors small enough to be transported via truck or train. The company was added to the RUSSLE 3000 index earlier this month. And for more, we're joined by James.
Added to the RUSSLE 3000. That's not a big index, but it's a positive step forward when you get a company getting added to an index. So that's an indicator to me that SMRs are something you need to look into, possibly talk to a financial advisor, not someone stupid like me who's been telling you about this coming, and your financial advisor probably hasn't. But go ahead and talk to a financial advisor. But other than that, you might want to look into small modular or micro nuclear reactors. They seem to be a growing trend. And I know it's not crypto. You're not going to be able to buy 17,000 new houses and have 12 new wives and own 17 countries in 2 minutes. But that's not how Warren Buffett did it. And I've never met anyone. I mean, Tesla, Elon Musk, it's taken him decades to be there. So you don't get rich overnight. When you do get rich is when you see good investments early. And you invest early. Now, investments in reality are not 2-minute exchanges that make you trillions of dollars, and then you feel good about yourself and you do 72,000 billion more of them, and then you lose the last one because you screwed up because you're overconfident, and then you broke again. That's why so many people are homeless right now, and not Warren Buffett's, because people don't follow this pathway because they always come up with other ways of saying, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and y'all end up in the freaking homeless lines. Only one Warren Buffett, only one Elon Musk, and this is how they invest. They see early trends that are going to last for decades. They invest in them. They grow over those decades, and they become billionaires over those decades. Holy shit, is that how it works? Ask Elon Musk. Ask Warren Buffett. They're Musk is like 129 billion. I mean, it took them 20 years to get there. Plus, you don't get there overnight. Invest early in things that come up early. Nuclear energy. Get back into it. Early.
James Walker, he's the CEO and head of reactor development at Nanonuclear Energy, joining us from Vienna, where the International Atomic Energy Conference is currently underway.
Did you guys even know that the Atomic Energy Conference was going on? These are things you need to look at because that's the future. Those people at the Atomic Development Energy Council that just met are determining the future of energy. You want to know why I say energy is going to be 75% cheaper by 2030? Because I know. Because I've done my research and I am giving it to you guys. Not for you to laugh at or to say, oh, let's waste a couple minutes and help Neil out, watch his show. I'm giving you guys some damn good fucking advice here. Not advice, tips. Yeah, tips, not advice at all.
James, thanks very much for joining us. And maybe for those who aren't familiar with this opportunity, when did your company...
This opportunity. Bloomberg said this opportunity. Bloomberg said this opportunity, if you didn't catch that. Not only did I say it, but Bloomberg said it. I've been saying it for years, but now Bloomberg's saying it. Imagine if you got in as early as Me.
spot it, and how big an
I'm going to be a
opportunity do you
billionaire.
see here?
Hi, John. Thanks for having me on. It was a number of years ago, just before this sort of resurgent interest in nuclear energy, and we made a calculation internally that there was definitely going to be more of a focus in the markets on the energy sector, and where that focus was going to be was predominantly what we were looking at. And we realized that it would have to be nuclear, whatever the conclusion, because it was a system that delivered baseload power. It could deliver it consistently, and you can put it anywhere. Like it's not dependent on you don't need the sun to shine or the wind conditions to be good. But when we looked at the nuclear industry and where we could fit in, we realized that at the microreactor level, there was the least amount of development.
Look how small that is.
Larger reactor systems like small modular reactors, which is larger than what we want to produce, they were sufficiently well developed. But the micro...
Hold on. So he just said, okay, a company that just got added to the Russell CEO said they didn't want to get into small modular reactors because it's already well developed. Really well developed. Did you guys know it was already well developed? I've been telling you about it. Now we're talking micro. Micro lets you go into micronuclear reactors, lets you go into spaceship engines, moon bases, bases on Mars. Future technologies being developed today. Invest in now before 9 billion other people know about it. So that way when 9 billion other people invest in it, you'll already have a big share of it and you'll be doing great.
Space was much less developed, and we actually believed it was a much larger potential market because this was an area where diesel was catering to, but they had no competition. But this meant mining projects, remote industry, remote habitation, island communities, military bases, disaster relief areas.
Military bases.
The list went on.
Disaster relief. How many disasters are we going to be having soon?
Potentially, we could produce thousands of these things a year.
Thousands.
Still wouldn't even meet a fraction of the global demand for these remote power sources. And they're not even in competition with anything else because...
What? Thousands needed, no competition. Holy cow, let's go to Vegas.
You can't just put solar and wind or geothermal or hydro wherever you want, or power transmission lines, or even gas or coal pipelines. But this is when you're providing power for small requirements in remote locations. It's just diesel reigns supreme, and we're confident we can beat out the price of remote diesel too.
Well, the video that we showed our audience just to even help further conceptualize this was quite helpful. I mean, if we're thinking of this basically, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, as almost like miniature mobile nuclear power plant opportunities in a truck. You went through a few different examples there of certainly remote areas where there could be a market opportunity. You talked about mining in terms of the kinds of customers that ultimately would...
Hold on, did he say mining? Hold on. Mining, power, remote locations. I have just seen an indicator for a whole bunch of mines going to be opening up. I've also told you about this one, and this is how they're going to power it. So that lowers the cost of mining in remote locations. Now we're going to have the availability of more assets out of the ground. I just made a prediction. If you guys believe it, check into mining and see who could take advantage of this power source without the need for electric lines, making roads to put the electric lines on, gas lines, all these other lines for power. You just bring a truck, drop it off, plug in, you start your mine. How much money will that save? How much? Hold on. Now, when you think about mining, you think about cost to mine. Everyone says, oh, it costs too much to go out there. The reason why it costs too much to go way out there, there's no roads, there's no infrastructure, there's no power lines, there's nothing. This right here makes all of that irrelevant. So if the need for power lines, power poles every 50 foot, and $15 million worth of infrastructure and just power needs to get to the mine are no longer needed, how much cheaper did it just make that mine that's not opening to open? I don't want to confuse you all with future events, but look into it.
Be rewarded by using this technology? Is it going to be a lot of the mining industry, or to your earlier point, like disaster relief as well?
So certainly those sort of remote industries could benefit enormously, and some of our conversations with mining companies have actually started already because
mining companies have already looked into it saying, ooh, money, 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 money. Y'all should see the same opportunity.
Process heat from the reactor to concentrate ore in remote locations. It's also electricity for accommodation, electricity for charging vehicles, and that sort of remote power can extend it way beyond sort of the ability of a mining company. So we've had some number of conversations with governments in Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and they've got hundreds of millions of people scattered across dozens of islands that all subsist on diesel generators, because you can't just put big power stations in these sort of remote areas where the footprint is really small. So that's a huge market there again. And we were recently just in Africa, and we signed an agreement with the government of Rwanda, and they have population centers there that are very much removed from the grid that microreactors could deploy to, where then suddenly you can have things like desalination, vertical farms, process heat for industry, and suddenly you can raise the quality of life in all these different areas. And
I wonder who's been doing shows on Africa talking about this kind of thing. Like, share, and subscribe. It's all coming together, people.
It's not exclusive to Rwanda. That's across the continent and beyond. So again, a huge potential market.
What happens when neuropathy takes over?
Oh, there you go. End of the show. See you later. Bye.